Hello, hello. Okay. Here we go on a Tuesday. Let me know if the music is too loud. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Zachary, your friendly waypoint in the Vale. Music seems fine, thank you. Okay, so far, so good. The stream is not like optimal, but it is green, which is better than what I was getting last time. Okay, so hopefully we will not run into problems. I did forget to change my stream destination back to a specific destination or source or whatever it's called. So it's still set to auto. But yeah, we're praying that it works. Because, oh golly, I am ready to proceed. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap, because it's not much of a recap. Last session I did have stream technical difficulties again, cutting me short before I could do much, which really stinks because I also spent a good portion of time rambling about a couple of things. But tonight I am ready to progress. Switch to the correct scene there. Okay, so first I'll do a little bit of a session recap, and then I will talk about something that I did off stream. And right on cue, the cat is meowing in the hallway. He just used the litter box after eating his dinner, and now he's disappointed that there is no lap to curl up on. He is staring at me from down the hallway. Okay. But we got our boy Cadlin, who is ready to go on a quest. But first, actually, firsties, before I go any further, because I forgot last time, I think. I will pop it off in the chat. Oh, you know what? My dice cam ain't on. Let me get that going, and hopefully the angle is good as I boot it up. Alright, cool. Hasn't changed. Excellent. Cool. Straighten out the wrinkles in my bed sheet here. Okay, cool. Alright, dice cam's there now. Oh, meow. Why are you meowing? Hey. Meow. You're just jealous because you don't have thumbs. You can't roll the dice. Oh no, he took offense. He just came into my room to yell at me. Meow. Meow. Sorry, I have to gotta pay the pet tax. Pet. Yeah, you hear your mama calling you? Why are you between my feet? Okay. Let me try again. Okay, so I got my dice cam on this time. Alright, let's go. Alright, here in chat is the link to the Backerkit campaign page for Legends of Akeroth, which I am playing. The crowdfund campaign is launching in 34 days, 14 hours, and 56 minutes. If you follow, you will get a free solo demo adventure and a free group play adventure with 4 pre-gen characters so that you can go ahead and get started whether you play solo or you play with friends. It is quite fun, highly recommend. And just as a reminder, I am playing a playtest version. Oh, look at that! Hello, Azun. I think, is it Azun or is it Azun? Well, that is so funny because I was about to name drop you. So if you visit the Backerkit campaign page, there is a link. Actually, I'll probably just shortcut it for everybody and just paste it. So here's the cross paths Discord. If you joined the Discord server, Azun here is open for some Loa one-shots, I believe. Also, the server is just like a lot of fun. Everybody's nice there. We like to answer questions if anybody has questions. And yeah, I've played twice with Azun and it was fun. I got flattened into a pancake in one of those sessions. 10 out of 10. Would get bounced on to death again. So yeah, check that out on the Backerkit. They also just teased a dice set that will be up for grabs. Loa one-shots, potentially Draconum as well, and soon as the Backerkit campaign is done for Loa, a campaign for it. Bonk Supremacy. Bonk Supremacy indeed. All hail the king. I have been converted into a loyal follower. So yeah, join the CrossPaths Discord and you'll be able to get in on some Draconum or Loa sessions, or both. Totally do both. Okay, and then yeah, just a reminder too that I'm playing a playtest version. So everything that you see, mechanics and stuff like that, is all subject to change. Alright, moving on. So in my last session before, I got cut off by some technical issues. I didn't get really too far into much of anything. Cadlin woke up this morning at the Band of Owls Adventurer Guild. I did a roll to see if the other 2 members were there. And it turns out both are. And one of those members I had not yet created. So we spent some time creating this new NPC character named Ivory. Did I? I did not. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Hold on a sec. I just wanted to make a quick link here. And then that way I can just open it from here. So we created a new NPC who is already shaping up to be rivals with Cadlin. It is Ivory Vonner, goes by he, they pronouns. They are half cosmic elf, half inferni. Average build, very tall, 6'3", which is fantastic compared to Cadlin's whopping 5 feet height. He's very gorgeous. Basically kind of looks like a horned-tailed version of this image here of a cosmic elf that I borrowed from Draconum, with some horns, a tail, and hair in the vicinity of this color. So, very stunning young man. who, yeah, immediately does not seem very impressed with Cadlin. A couple of insults are traded, and that's basically about where my stream decided to poop itself, and that was it. So yeah, we're going to continue with our breakfast scene, meet the other guild member, and hopefully finally start on this quest. Also, I did roll on the weather, and there's a storm front moving in, so it's windy, it's threatening to storm, and there is a bane on ranged attacks, which is great because Cadlin is ranged. So it's very good that Ivory is going to be our upcoming waymate on this quest, because Ivory is a healer. Let's see, there was the other thing I needed to give kind of like a recap on, but maybe I will go over that when it comes up in the thing. Alright, so I'm going to start this off with the continuation of the morning scene, and then read it out loud. And also drink some water, because woo! What was my last sentence? Oh, right. Ivory was doing some kind of like little ritual thing, which I decided on the fly. It's just like a really minor thing where if the guild gets like attacked or something negative happens and there's a roll, the first roll will get like a boon. Just something small. Oh! Oh my god, look at
The
that!
Guild Club just raided with 7 viewers.
Hi, raiders! Wow, this is my first ever raid. How do I do that thing? Hello! Hi! Okay, 1 second. This is like... Thanks, Asin! Have fun with your, with the Tuesday crew. Let's see. How do I do the thing? I got to... Okay, hold on. I did it. I did it on Cheekies. Okay. I'll figure that out in a moment. Unless Cheeky can beat me to it. Because Cheeky is a moderator. Hello everybody! Thanks for coming in. If you got a dash out, that's cool too. All good. My name is Zachary. I am a... Wow. Yeah, this is my first time I've ever had to do like a mid-thing intro. Anyway, yeah, I'm Zachary. I'm a they/him pink tuber playing a solo campaign of Legends of Akeroth, which is going to start crowdfunding soon. I'll go ahead and post that again. I was fortunate to be a part of the playtest, so what I've been playing is a playtest version, so everything is all subject to change and whatnot. But if you're interested in getting started with the game yourself, if you follow the Backerkit campaign, you can get a free solo demo and a free group demo. So yeah, already it's pretty cool stuff that you can go ahead and get started with. Also, I am not sponsored or anything. I am just that enthusiastic about this game. As Cheeky will happily tell you, because Cheeky, my moderator here, lives with me and has to listen to me on a daily basis. So yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's see, did you think? Yeah. Feel free to tell me what y'all were playing or watching. D&D is in your title, so I'm assuming it might be 5e or something. How do I do the thing? I'm trying to figure out how to do the shout out thing, but I've only done that from as a mod. Yeah, cool. I was just starting up the session. I'm working on the opening scene right here. Sorry if I'm a little thrown off. This, like I said earlier, this is my first ever raid. Wow, baby's first Twitch raid. Amazing. I am playing a bristleback, which is kind of like hedgehog inspired. This is my take on the bristleback design. The ones in the core rulebook are a little more like, kind of more like animal proportion, or like little shorter furry kind of style. And I wanted something a little bit more anthropomorphic there. But yeah, this is Cadlin Steelspike. He is a ranger class. Him uses the bow. And his hair ends in quills, because his core gift relates to his quills stiffening. So I thought it would be cool if his if it activated, his hair would kind of like puff out. And it also let me give him different hairstyles. But alright, so yeah, starting off with a morning session. We are about to receive our first quest, but we just also joined an adventurers guild called the Band of Owls, and we are meeting two of the members. One we just met, didn't get along with him, but that's alright. Little healthy rivalry. And now we are meeting the second member. Let me go ahead and open her profile. So I couldn't remember his name. Alright, let me go ahead and read this because that's a couple paragraphs there. Catelyn walked into the kitchen, hoping to avoid further interaction with Ivory. A red-headed dwarf was already seated at the table, and she paused her conversation with Deezen before leaping to her feet with excited energy. "Good morning, Catelyn. Nice to meet ya." She rushed over to him and grabbed for his hand, which it wasn't quick enough to pull back. After a few energetic pumps, she released it and beamed at him. "My name's Seda Brightwinds. Welcome to the Band of Owls. You've met Ivory already, but let's make it official. Hey Ivory, come here." There was a distant grunt of disapproval, and Ivory appeared shortly after. When he didn't offer an introduction, Seda said, "This is Ivory Vonner, a healer that joined us recently. We had another member, but she left. Some kind of family business back in Shumen called her away. But we've got you now, so we're just peachy." Let's see. I guess I could make my first roll of the session and see if I could make a good impression upon Saida. And then how did I... Yeah, because I was toying with the idea of kind of having a clock to track bonds with. So let me go ahead and add that in. And, so I don't know if this would be enough to... Well, actually, no. No, I think an establishing one would work. But I think I did an establishing one for Deezen already, so we'll just go back to Seda. Okay, so I am going to roll, let's see, probably Mind and Soul, which means my chance of success is going to be really slim, because in Legends of Akeroth, 5s and 6s out of a d6 pool are going to be successes, and you need 4 for a full success. 1 to 3 is going to be a mixed success, so it'll be a yes but type situation, where you succeed but there's some kind of unintended consequence or effect or something. And then a 0 is a fail. Let's see, I did not empty my tray. I was originally not going to stream tonight. I was originally planning to do it on tomorrow, but there's another stream that I actually want to watch tomorrow. And normally I stream on Thursdays. But on Friday I was supposed to be going to a day-long company event. And so I was like, oh, I better not stream on Thursday to make sure that my social battery is fully charged for it. Of course, now it looks like I might not have to go. So, I don't know, I might still stream on Thursday. We'll see. But for now, I need 4d6s. Alright, I got 2 successes, so that means that Cadlin does not completely embarrass himself. Huzzah. Okay, so let's see what Cadlin does. Maybe he's slightly put off because he is somewhat introverted. So he was a little caught off guard by the extremely forward nature of Seda. Seda is very friendly. She is actually an NPC that I created during a prequel game featuring the guild master of this guild before they founded the guild itself. Let me also add this to dictionary because that is going to be annoying. Are there stoves in Akeroth? There is now. Oh, this would have actually been a great time to read the Draconum Herald's Guide that just got partially released to backers. It actually mentions some cuisines, and while Draconum takes place in the region of Batesian, and Legends of Akeroth takes place in a region called Erwick, I still could have like used that for my little breakfast here, but we're just gonna keep it simple to eggs and bacon. Alright, let me go ahead and read this before I get into quest details. Cadlin had to recollect himself. It had been a long time since he was socializing with someone beyond a simple innkeeper or shopkeeper encounter, and Sada's enthusiasm this early in the morning caught him off guard. "Thank you for taking me," he said, but his words caught in his throat and his voice cracked a little. Ears twitching with annoyance in himself, he tried again. "Cadlin Steelspike, I was told there was already a quest for me." "I'll give you the details as we eat. Go on and have a seat," Deason said from the stove. They started putting together food and plates and then placed them on the table. And for those who are new, Deason is a Drakari kin. So they are a pretty big kind of dragon person, basically. Got the wings, got the horns, and they go by they them pronouns, and they are a warrior, so they have the bulk for like the warrior class, and their scales are green, if I remember right, so they kind of have like a green orange color palette. Whew, I am already halfway through my first bottle of water. So eventually I will probably have to get up to go get my second one. And to probably also use the bathroom because that is the consequence of drinking water. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. Because let's see, let me open the quest itself. Let's see. Make a note real quick. Okay, so this quest that we are being assigned to, more or less, is what I've so far dubbed as the Book from Yaren. And the objective is to travel to Tower Yaren and collect a tome of arcane history for a client in Winford. I am actually going to go ahead and change this because it is no longer history. And I will explain why in a moment. And I need to pull up my map so that y'all can see where Tower Yaren is. Okay, so this is the map from my playtest edition. It was originally in color, but I made it black and white and pretty small. Just to be able to fit the whole thing on here. And to also kind of keep it, you know, keep it, it's not a full spoiler, it's just a partial one. Because you don't know what it looks like in color. And you can't really tell from here either, but this entire thing is actually kind of like a pixel art. art style. It looks fantastic. And thanks to a follow goal, the hardcover is or not hardcover, but like the physical version is actually going to get a fold out map of it. So that's cool. Anyway, we are here in my homebrew city of Winford that I just sort of threw over here. It sits on a river, so I had to also add a river here. You can kind of see like there's nothing much over here except maybe some like some sort of like ruins. There's like a shipwreck looking thing down here, skeleton, a sword, but so I don't really know what lies in this direction. I keep forgetting to look at the continent map. But I'd plunked my city right here. There seemed like there was enough room for it. It was near a forest, which is where my adventure started. And yeah. Tower Yaren is over here. So not too bad of a trip. I haven't decided what route I'm gonna take. I don't know if I'm gonna go around the forest to get there. Maybe stop in Newham right here. Or if I'm just gonna cut right through the forest and then go right back through. I would imagine that if I cut through the forest, I should probably give myself more encounter rolls. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. We need to go to this tower, which is like a center of arcane study. Pick up a book that was commissioned by somebody in Winford, and then bring it back. And then, yeah, what is this book? Well, originally I was going to create this book on stream, but then my stream started going very bad. It like the quality was bad, the lag was horrible, and I think the VOD also got like cut off. I haven't looked at the damage yet, but I ultimately had to stop short. So instead, what I did was for my 52-week blog challenge, world building challenge, which I am doing blog entries for, I went ahead and created it as an entry for this past week. Let me pull it up. Why is it not pulling up? Uh-oh. Do not tell me that my website is broke. Hickey. Why is it not pulling up my blog? I know the person behind the not software, but the, I don't know what you call it. Yeah, because it's not software, I think. The equivalent of WordPress, basically, has been doing a bunch of updates, but this should still be working. Well, if it doesn't, that's okay. I will, still be able to give you the Spark notes for it, because I can also just look at the back end of it. So I wonder if a recent update went a little squirrely. Anyway, so we've got this arcane tome I created. Let's see, I don't need this anymore. Go ahead, open it, switch to read view. And since I cannot link my blog post, let me go ahead and paste the image from it in here so that y'all can see what I did. Okay, So I'm a big fan of the story engine deck. Y'all can look on it, look it up on your own. But it's a bunch of decks. Like there's 3 core decks, one for story, one for world building, and then another one for lore. I used the lore deck to create this arcane tome that we are going to go pick up. The characters are probably not going to know the full details about this book, but we do, because I thought it would be really fun to use the lore deck to craft it. So here are the cards that I drew, and I'll start reading them out loud because there is a little hard to read here. So this one is a creature card. It is a tree. This one is an event card. I chose Catalyst or Fallout, and it is a new form of media or genre of art. I have a modifier of Ardent, a faction of siblinghood that is prone to extremism or bureaucracy, and then I have a figure who is a composer who is empathic or telepathic. And then I have a material that is silver, and like as an effect, it is perception enhancing or altering properties. So it enhances or alters perception in some way. And so I will go ahead and tell you how I interpreted these. So for faction, it's a siblinghood prone to extremism. I decided that this faction desires this book. I don't know why. I don't know who they are. And, like, I don't know if they are for a good cause, or a bad cause. But I mean, if they are prone to extremism, it's likely not good. They could be well-intentioned, or like good intentions, but I think anyone, you know, would be a little bit cautious, even of someone with good intentions, if they were prone to extreme acts. The location, and there's location cards, but I already predetermined it to be located at Tower Yaren. The event is that a new genre of music would be formed. Here I said with magic infused song, but it's not really, let's see. Okay, I did not include it here. Because magic infused song is actually not that unique, and I forgot about that. So I was just gonna leave it vague. That, from this, a new genre of music would be created. A figure is going to be an empathic composer who created the tome full of magical song compositions. Well, they weren't magical yet, but they wrote the songs, and then they became magical by way of the enchanters at Tower Yaren. And because it says telepathic, I think that when it says empathic, it kind of means in the way of like being able to feel people's or spirits' emotions and stuff like that. I decided to just kind of take it as just empathy, as just being really like really feeling for people and their plights and stuff like that. There are object cards, but I already determined, you know, it's going to be an arcane tome weapon, although it is not actually a weapon anymore. Tome is a basic arcane weapon in Loa, but you'll see why it's no longer really a weapon. It's more like almost like a device, a magical device almost. For the material, which was silver, and then perception enhancing or altering properties, I decided it was going to be a boon for soul checks, and then soul is a Loa stat. So it would turn a 4 if you rolled your dice pool and got a 4, it would turn that into a 5, which would be 1 success. And then more details on that in a moment. For creature, I pulled tree, which I thought was kind of funny because I think it means it in like a tree ant kind of way. But Akeroth, which is the world that we're playing in, also has this world tree called Heimster. So I was like, okay, cool. Heimster is the design on the cover, which also kind of works with the theme. And then for Ardent, I used that as the book's title, Songs of Ardent Joy. So yeah, this is my, basically it's a relic. The game has relics, which are kind of like these magical devices and whatnot. And, yeah, I thought I could have sworn I updated that. So, yeah, basically, mechanically, what it does is that it gives a boon on one soul-related check made by any ally who has heard a song from this book, including the singer. Cost of use is that it is once per long rest, and the song must be sung, not read. It applies to up to 5 audience members within a 2-square range. And then the visual description is that it's a beautiful tome with Heimster embossed on its green cover in silver foil. Inside are songs infused with spellwork. Also, this bad boy costs 1,750 Draviks. Our boy Catlin over here has 10 to his name. So, if anything were to happen to this book while it was in his possession, he is not going to be able to pay that back. He cannot afford that. So, yeah. But yeah, because the book is infused with spellwork, that would explain why a client, which is the composer, would want somebody to pick it up and not just simply entrust it to a courier service. Damn, our boy is broke. He sure is. And you know, he only got that 10 Draviks because that farmer like took pity on him basically. He's standing there bleeding out. The saber tiger got away. He just got lucky. Because that farmer happened to like be connected to nature and stuff and was kind of cool with avoiding the death of an animal, but yeah. Whew. So yeah, that's the book that I created off stream. Pretty fun. I'll have to figure out why my website is not working. It's basically just displaying the homepage. And let's see, so the client is a composer figure. We have not created this NPC yet. Let me go ahead and put like a placeholder link in here. And then for a reward, now that I know what this book is about, like what this book is, now I can determine how much of a reward for the quest is going to be. So I think because we need to travel, let's see, maybe I should change this to like a 2 o'clock. 2, 4, 6, 8, that just feels better. Oh, I just met Seda. Did I already give myself XP for that? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I give it just before we created Ivory. But okay, so reward, I am thinking, let's see, so we need to travel there. That would be 1 increment. Or maybe 2 increments, really. And then travel back, which would probably be 2 increments. So probably, yeah, probably 4 o'clock. So I'll just roll a d10. I created this table just to help, like this whole page here, to help me create quests on the fly. So this is the first time I'm using it. So I might change all this, but you can see that I gave myself a few different common types of quests. Another list of like where it is. I decided that this one wasn't going to be too far because Cadlin is level 1. And in session 2 he went up against a saber tiger, and on the saber tiger's first turn nearly killed him. So our boy is squishy, defenseless, and yeah. So I was like, let me just keep the quest nearby. Who knows what's gonna happen out there. Okay, so reward 1d10. And this is gonna represent the tens place of a number. So 60 Dravix. Does that actually track? Because before I did not have a list of like price tiers, and now I do. So 60 Dravix would kind of put it in like uncommon territory. And I'm thinking that the composer doesn't know that there's going to be some kind of faction coming after the book. So while they want it more secure than just a simple courier service, I don't think that they expect too much trouble. After all, it is just simply picking up a book. Of a book of music, no less. A book of feel-good music. Let's see. So yeah, kind of low end, but maybe there'll be a way of getting a tip. Okay, so I can close that. I'm gonna move that up here. And put a note that an unknown siblinghood faction seeks the book. And then 60 Dravix is the reward. And then I obtained it back in session 3. Bump that up a little. Okay, so there's our quest details. I am going to go ahead and use the bathroom, like I predicted, and then grab my other bottle of water. So just give me a little bit. Okay, I am back. Also grabbed the Tylenol that I forgot to take before the session. I'm paying for that one. Okay. So now that I have the quest details, I'm probably not going to go over those in prose format. Maybe I'll do that later. Instead, I will create a callout. That's fine. Quest obtained. The book from Yaren. So we have an open quest. We're going to pretend that Deezen has told Cadlin and Ivory that they are going to travel together to Tower Yaren. Ah, that's the other thing too. It's a 60 Dravik reward, but there's going to be 2 adventurers. So that means Cadlin will only get 30 Draviks. But both of them are kind of new adventurers. And the wilderness and stuff has been getting increasingly dangerous over the last couple of years. So Deezen is a little hesitant to send out one person. Especially since when they first met Cadlin, Cadlin was sporting a good-sized slash across his chest. Cadlin should get 2/3 of it because he broke. Yeah, I mean, Ivory looks like he's doing just fine. He's, you know, he was dressed pretty well, has a nice travel cloak, you know, nice boots. Cadlin, on the other hand, 10 Draviks is not even enough to get him a room in an inn, and that is why he was like, Caddy, my laddie. Oh, he would hate that so much. Keep calling him that. Maybe we'll have Ivory call him that. Yeah, and on top of that, besides having to split it, I had decided that this is not in the rulebook, this was my own doing. But I had decided, wait, establishments? Where did I put it? Establishments. Oh, it's under factions. Teehee. I know where all my lore is. I've decided that besides everything else, my guild is gonna have commission fees based on its rank. Again, this was not in the rulebook. Guild ranks are, and my first guild perk is Guild Barracks. But I've decided that based on the number of members, or like the rank of the guild, I will change this commission fee, because the guild is in a bit of a dilapidated house, and you know, the eggs and bacon that they're eating for breakfast cost money. The house costs money. Property taxes cost money. They're based in a city. You know, any other basic resource, like, other than like food, patching the roof, you know, costs money. So I decided that the guild is going to make its money through commission fees. Oh, so Cadlin isn't getting anything. Got it. Yeah, because right now it's a 50% commission fee. So 50% of 30 Draviks is 15 Draviks. But hey, you know, he gets to stay in his own room. He doesn't have a roommate. And yeah, the building is a little creaky, but it sure beats, you know, sleeping outside 90% of the time. And he's been doing that for the last couple of years. So he's been getting a little bit travel weary. It's also too a lot of some of his trauma is starting to catch up on him. He's been spending way too much time by himself, and he doesn't quite understand the effect of that on himself. He just has this weird like feeling that he needs to stop traveling for an extended amount of time. But he has no money to stay somewhere for that long. So when he saw an opportunity to join an adventurers guild, he reluctantly throws himself out there, and here we are. So yeah, we're gonna bust our butts for 15 Draviks. But hey, like I said, maybe we'll get a tip. Because, like I said, that composer doesn't know that there's going to be this group coming after their book. Oh, and then I need to update this. This is going to be a 4-segment clock. Alrighty, so we have obtained the quest, and I think we're going to go ahead and start heading out. I think I'll roll on a non-combat encounter chart first, because if we enter into combat, I'm going to need a waymate sheet for Ivory, and I haven't made one for him yet. But I'd like to have some kind of action start happening, so we are going to do that first. Oh, and to get to Tower Yarn, I've already decided is probably going to be a 2-segment clock to get there. So that would be 2 events. Maybe I'll make it 4 segments. There we go. And then with the combined resources from Ivory, we'll go ahead and say that we have a full resource clock. Because you don't need to track things like rations in Loa. And you don't even really have to track arrows. So Cadlin is a ranged ranger. A ranger. And uses the bow. I don't have to keep track of how many arrows he has. And if I need something unique, like a coil of rope, I can just make a preparedness check. Maybe Cadlin needs a small chaotic bat friend to help him get some Draviks. That is a very interesting idea you have posed to me. The only thing is that it would mean, well, I mean, you know what? Well, I was about to say it would mean that you don't have a dragon hatchling if you were to join with your character from our little Draconum game. But if I'm the game master and you want your little dragon baby, then I can make that happen somehow. The funny thing though is that Belfry, your character, is currently across an ocean or a sea. I'm actually not quite sure what type of body of water it is, but That is an interesting idea, though. Maybe sometime you could be a guest, a traveler from Batesian. They can fly. Buddy, I hate to break it to ya. I don't think Belfry can fly across an ocean. And your hatchling can't fly yet. Okay, let's see. So, bet. Okay. Let me just go ahead and kind of write our little beginning sequence here. Okay, journey and quest begins. Breakfast continued without incident, other than the occasional long-suffering sigh from Ivory and some pointed looks of disdain that Catelyn stubbornly ignored. With the quest details and the directions to get to the tower in hand, Catelyn and Ivory find themselves on their way into the forest that lies between Winford and Tower Yaren. As for the forest itself, Catelyn had thought that it would feel familiar, since it had only been a couple of days since he had walked among its trees himself. But as the storm front continued to blow through, pelting the two adventurers with a few drops of rain from time to time, the forest felt darker, more threatening. Catelyn had to fight a feeling of hesitation as they walked into it, with Winford disappearing from sight behind them. Alright, so let me grab my forest event tables. Because each, there's a list of, biomes. And each biome has, D100 event table. Although, if I remember right, it's not like a full D100. Let's see. Events, here we go. Got the book printed out. Okay. Let's see, these are generic events. Where's Forest? Oh yeah, no, it's a true D100. Forest events. Okay, so that's encounters. We are not going to do an encounter yet. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm missing a page. Where did it go? 210. Is this backwards? Oh, it is. Okay, so I need to roll a D100. $26. Oh, hey, look at that. That's kind of fitting. The canopy tightens overhead, dimming the path. So if I engage with this as a check, on a failure, I will lose clarity and momentum. On a success, you move carefully and notice hidden shapes in the shadows. That sounds kind of ominous. It doesn't tell me what those shapes could be. Ooh, maybe it'll be our tip that something is amiss. But that's only if I roll right. Did I just snap something off my desk? No. Okay. Oh, I did notice that I have a new hole in my pants. That's fun. Okay, let's see. This sounds like shadow for sure. And then, let's see. Should I use mind or world? Okay, so event 1. Yeah, mind or world? Let's see, we are traveling, so world sounds more, what's the word? More logical? Like pretty reasonable? But mind would be me actively thinking and like being aware of my surroundings, I feel like. But world would be like interpreting those surroundings. So maybe I'll do shadow and world. Oh, that's pretty good. I got 3 successes. It's not a 4 though, so it's not like a complete success, but I think this is fine because I think it kind of works with this idea. Okay, so I rolled shadow plus world. Use my color there. Okay. I guess we could be using a light source. I could make a preparedness check to see if we have a light source on hand, but I think given that the storm front was already present and pretty dim, and that we already knew that we were going to be cutting through the forest, I think we would definitely have one, so I'm not gonna make a preparedness check for it. So I think we'll just have a torch, because I think a lantern would be a little bougie. I don't think Ivory would have that much coin either. I mean, it's a 50% commission fee. And it's only because there's only 3 members. Deezen doesn't really count because Deezen is sort of semi-retired. So they're not taking quests and going out on them. And it's just gonna be Seda and then these two. Okay, so as they headed deeper into the forest, the canopy above them gets denser. Denser? More dense? And what little light there was before is snuffed out. Ooh, there we are. Okay. As Ivory lights a torch, Cadlin takes a moment to peer into the shadows alongside the path. He catches a glimpse of shapes moving in the trees, but is unable to discern what they are before they disappear. I don't think we're alone, Cadlin mutters to Ivory. Well, no. We're in a forest full of life, Ivory returns, holding the torch so that Cadlin could catch him rolling his eyes. Lots of wildlife in here, probably hunters too. Cadlin sighed. He knew Ivory was a necessity. Deason had vouched for his healing abilities, and after the saber tiger, which I misspelled, Cadlin knew Ivory could be useful if those abilities lived up to the praise. They continued on. Okay, so we will tick 1 increment on our journey clock, which I think I'm going to make green because we're in the forest. And I think our resources are going to be fine. By the way, sight depth is if we are in a shrine or a dungeon. We are not in one, we're just in a forest. And I don't know if we'll utilize the danger clock for this. That is also for use in dungeons, but I could see it maybe coming into play. But we are going to move on to event 2. Let's roll again. '81. Gotta get that right page. Woohoo. Ooh, interesting. 81. A den nearby reeks of predator musk. On a failed check, a lingering near it draws a hostile encounter. On a success, you skirt the area safely and mark it mentally. Okay, so this is a little interesting because I actually do have a plot hook related to that saber tiger that I mentioned. Oh no, a big stinky! Ah yes, we have encountered the litter box after my cat has used it. Oh no. Run for the hills, everybody. Hold your noses. Okay. I do have a plot hook. Oh, so like I mentioned, Cadlin took a quest in like session 2 to investigate something that was happening on a farm inside of a farmer's little hillside cave that he was using to create wine. Oh, they might have been a they. They were using to create wine. You know, fermented or whatever wine people do. And it turned out to be a saber tiger had holed itself up in there because it had gotten injured. And it was remarked upon that I think there had been more sightings of saber tigers. Let me actually pull up the farmer. I think it was this one. Nope. Who is that? I don't remember who that is. Kyle. Kale. Oh, he was a he. Okay, so yeah, had a saber tiger camp out in his wine cellar cave. Mentioned to Cadlin that tigers had been sighted more frequently lately. Perhaps, and so I was like, well, perhaps something is pushing them out of their territory and should be investigated. So perhaps this predator den is related to this. Maybe it is a saber tiger den, Or maybe it is a den of the thing that is pushing saber tigers out of their original territory. But we don't know yet. The boys do not know. I say boys, but they're adult men. Cadlin is 26, and Ivory is probably something like, I don't know, maybe about the same age. Oop, a dean, a wild Paula Dean. Okay, so I need to roll. This is definitely going to be a world check. And let's see. Do I want to use mind or shadow? Cadlin would probably take an interest in it because he did have that encounter with the saber tigers, so maybe he's remembering those words. And I am starting to have, like, he is sort of manifesting himself to be kind of invested into animals. Like, he seems to be sympathetic towards them, doesn't like killing them if he can help it, that kind of thing. Obviously, if they are killing people and whatnot, he won't, hesitate to help put them down. But, yeah, let's see. Thinking. Mind would be kind of like an analytical. So he could study. Oh, actually, I have a perk. I have a perk, I think. Okay, so I have the class feature for Rangers, which is Hunter's Sense. Once per scene, you may ask the Herald one question about a creature's tracks, habits, or weakness. Gain a boon on your next check against that target. Okay, so that one, I don't know what the creature is, but I also do have Cautious Approach, which is what I should have used with the saber tiger. And that is when I gain boon on shadow plus mind checks to avoid ambush or spot hidden threats. But I wasn't going to use shadow and mind, I was going to use world because I was thinking more about the potential animal, like animal signs, tracks and stuff like that. So let's see. I don't really know if I'm making a check against the target, because I don't know what that target is. Could be a saber tiger, it could be something totally different. I think I might. Maybe I'll save it because I'm level 1, my stats are all pretty low. So it's really hard for me to roll a full success. And my chances of getting like 4s to turn into a 5 and have enough for a clean success still might not make it worth it. So maybe I'll go with my original idea of doing world and then maybe mind, because that way I'll at least have 5 dice. Okay. Let's see what I get. Oh, look at that. I got 2. successes. I did get a 4, but like... Am I missing a dice? Oh, I am. I'm missing a dice. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Woo. Okay, didn't matter. Yeah, I wouldn't have mattered anyway. Okay, so got a mixed. Okay, so it succeeds. Let me see, check my cheat sheet for potential ideas. So yeah, mixed, so I get a success but with a cost / setback. Alright, so the failure was lingering draws a hostile encounter. So maybe my success will be that I don't draw a hostile encounter. I'm able to kind of skirt the area safely, but I won't be able to determine what the creature is. Which, I mean, also kind of makes sense because Cadlin is not from this area. This is the first time he's here. Here in this area of Erwick. If he's ever been in Erwick. Erwick at all. So yeah, it's likely that he's not that familiar with some of the wildlife. So kind of makes sense that he might not know what this thing is. Just that it's a predator, judging by the smell of it. Let's see. Let's see if I can figure out how to describe it. Check my juice oracle. Because I think it had a descriptor table in here. Just checking. Maybe I was not. Oh, here we go. A feel. Ooh, maybe smell could help too. And then maybe seeing something. This is a D10. A 7. So I can get odd, flowers, or slippery. So maybe it is something kind of slippery. A 9. Oh, and sticky. Oil. Shiny. So slippery and sticky. I wonder if there's gore, like from a kill. Or maybe an old kill. Just checking a little more. I have the juice 1-page oracle that kind of like folds out. It's pretty cool. It's free. You can get it on itch.io. Just look for juice oracle. Oh. This might also help me. Let's see, what is this? Another D10? A 3? Cloved or drain? Oh, mushrooms as a feature? Curious. Mushrooms, you say? Alright, I think that kind of gives a good description. We're in the forest. I don't know if it's so much of a cave, but maybe a cluster of trees. Maybe this too is also kind of giving away that perhaps Ivory is kind of like a city-born person. Maybe he's not as used to being out in the wilderness and reading signs of animals and stuff. I can't just have him insulting Cadlin all the time. Cadlin's here. He can do things. With some degree of success. We'll just ignore how the saber tiger went. That was a very bad idea. Totally all my fault. Learned my lesson. Okay. Catelyn stops Ivory after the wind shifts, and he catches a pungent smell. Wait, hold on a moment, he says, voice low. Ivory grumbles, but Catelyn is already drawing an arrow across his bow. He steps towards the edge of the path and keeps his ears pointed up in order to catch any kind of threatening sound. He hears nothing that gives away any presence of a beast, but does see the den it's made for itself, where the musk is strongest. A cluster of trees had grown near enough to each other to form a tighter shelter from the elements, and whatever had taken up residence beneath them was a messy eater. The ground looked slippery with a dark substance and the carnage of old kills. Off to the side, Catelyn spotted a mushroom patch, a variety that he knew only grew from corpses. Whatever the beast was, it had been here for a while, but perhaps it was already moving on elsewhere. Catelyn rejoined Ivory on the path. We're safe, but there was definitely some kind of predator here recently, he says, and returns his arrow to his quiver. We'll need to keep an ear out for any noise out of the ordinary. Hopefully it's moved on far away by now. Okay. So with that, I'll go ahead, mark another increment on the journey clock. Resources remain good. Sip of water. Okay. So we've made it halfway through the forest on our way to Tower Yaren. After this event, I am a little hesitant to roll for an encounter because I've made this thing sound kind of scary, and now I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't really sound like a creature for 2 level 1 characters. This kind of sounds like something we could lead up to for like a later plot hook. Maybe it's the thing that chased out the saber tigers. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's unrelated. Let's see. I wonder. Maybe I'll highlight this. I thought I could highlight. Is it a plugin that I don't have? What's comment look like? It looks ugly. Let's not do that. I could have sworn. Oh, here it is. Highlight. Oh, that color is also ugly. We cannot have that. Oh, didn't realize that I had a update. Oh, nope. Okay. Cannot have that. Let's see. Oh, the color settings. Other colors. Where's highlight? Text selection. Search result, file result, color of leaf resize handle. There's the bold. Main colors? No. Main text color. Color scheme. Element styles. Links, icons. Highlights. Here we go. Ooh, highlight styles. Rounded corners. Colorful highlight setting. Ooh, I have not actually looked at that. These. Let's just change the color for now, because make it purple. See, did that work? Oh, that was the text color. That's not good. Pull that back up. Oh, duh, it says highlight text. Silly me. It is not wanting to reset. Okay, highlight styles, highlight background color. What about the actual color? Light mode, dark mode. Oh, I see. Let's tweak that and see what happens. Okay, that's better. I would have preferred it to be purple, but if I have to use sliders like that, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I just wanted to kind of call it out to myself in some way. Oh, actually, I'm kind of silly. What if I just use my gradient text? What's this look like? Absolutely nothing. Okay. There we go. There we go. That makes me feel much better. Okay, so we had our third event. Just kind of wanted to make a note. Your tooth again. Cool. Okay, events 3. Yeah, so maybe I'll do one more event, and then maybe I'll do an encounter roll for the 4th event. And then we can have a little bit of combat. I just want to make sure that I put a little bit of distance between the idea of potentially fighting this thing, because I definitely feel like this is not something that I want to fight as a level 1 ranger with a bane, because it is really windy right now, so I get a bane on my attack rolls. I mean, I'd kind of like to not fight at all, but you know, I gotta be kind of fair. And I mean, just because we get into an encounter doesn't necessarily mean I have to actually fight. So there's that. $18. Okay. Ooh, spooky. Low rhythmic thumps echo deeper in the forest. Ooh. And then, on a failure, following them puts you too close to danger. On a success, the sound guides you towards a point of interest. I don't know about a point of interest. It sounds more like a point of spooky. And, don't know if the boys are... I don't know if we want a point of spooky. We're on a quest here. Catalan's broke. He wants those 15 Draviks. He needs a new shirt to replace the one that got shredded. He's not wearing that shirt right now. He's wearing a different shirt. But he probably had to retire the other one to rags. Let's see. So Oh, I could never spell this word right on the first try. Did I get it? Oh, I guess I did. Hey! Good job, me. So, it said on a failure, following them puts you too close to danger. But on a success, following them gives you a point of interest. I mean, I kind of just don't want to follow them. Because given that it's kind of dark and gloomy and stuff, and windy and stormy, anything that's kind of like a deliberately rhythmic thump in the forest after we just encountered a predator den with no predator in it, I just feel like it's something we're going to want to avoid. So I guess really, I think the thing here would be that we would probably, like, if we're following a path, in order to avoid it, perhaps we need to kind of step off of the path for a little while. And so therefore, a failed check would result in us losing track of the path and getting delayed. So, we wouldn't be able to advance the journey clock, prolonging the stay in the forest. And then a success, we would be able to return back to the path after no longer hearing the thumps. So that sounds good. Now, what to roll? If we're avoiding, then maybe mind and shadow then. We're going to try to stay hidden in the shadows of the forest and step off of the path a bit without losing our way. So that'll be 5 dice. Ooh! Oh, that is so close to failure, but we did it! We rolled 1-5. Oh, man. That was, whew. Okay, whew, that was close. Okay, so we rolled mind and shadow. Got, by the skin of our teeth, a mixed success. Okay. This time, it was Ivory that stopped their progress, but Cadlin heard it as well. A low, rhythmic thumping coming from deeper in the forest. It was difficult to pinpoint exactly where it was coming from, but one look from Ivory told Cadlin that they were in agreement. The sound was likely nothing good. Wordlessly, they stepped off the path, Cadlin taking the lead. He guided them through patches of dark shadow, minding where they stepped and keeping the path to one side, never losing track of it. After a time, the thumping faded in the distance, and Cadlin led them back onto the path. Ivory seemed less irritable after that, his dark skin looking a little paler in the weak daylight. I do need a little bit of a consequence though, because that wasn't a full success by any means. It was just barely a mixed success. Oh, you know what, let's say that they doused the torch, because what was the point of walking into the shadows if the torch was still lit? So let's say that they put out the torch, and maybe in his haste, Ivory kind of ruined it and can't get it to light up anymore. So I'll lose a resource. And then I'll just make a note of this. You know what? Maybe I'll say they lose 2 resources. Because they have to light another torch. And maybe it's possible that we're not going to be able to restock our supplies, our resources before heading back out. Don't know. We'll see what awaits us at Tower Yarn. But now... Ooh, I forgot to... This is 3, not pound sign. Then we're going to do event number 4. Which we may try for not combat, but an encounter. But before that, I do indeed have to use the restroom again. Because like I said, I drink a lot of water. Such is life. In one way, out the other. I'll be back. Muted? I was muted! I'm back. Okay, hello. Just watching me bounce silently. I need to get better at making sure I hit both buttons. But anyway, I was just looking at the stream health, making sure it is still fine. It appears to be doing fine. It says it's excellent. That's good, that's good. Bitrate looks good. So yeah, we may have fixed the issue. Hopefully. We'll find out. Okay, so I do kind of wonder what is going on with my blog. I'll have to try to work on that after this. I had left the tab open and I just saw it again. But okay, cool. Yeah, how are we doing so far? It is currently 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. my time, which means I have about an hour of gameplay left. As much as I would like to run on until 10 o'clock, I do have to work in the morning, and unfortunately I need my brain for my job. Yeah, more water. Okay, let me find the encounter table. Alright, so the encounter table is just a D12, so it's pretty short in comparison. Kind of gives a list of potential enemies. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what we encounter. This is our last event before we get to Yaren. Also, forgot to tick the clock, the journey clock. So we just have one more event. Got a 6. That gives us Forest Skirmishers. Oh, I see. So this can be 2 to 3 furballs, or 1 furball and 1 crestwing. Forest Scavengers bicker over fruit before turning their attention to you. Okay. Okay, now do we want 1 furball and 1 crestwing, or do we want 2 to 3 furballs? I think, maybe I'll do 2 furballs. Just because I'm a little hesitant to do 3. Because I've only had 2 combat encounters. One was a guided encounter with the demo, which is how I started out the campaign. The other one was the Saber Tiger, and that went that went terribly. It was awful. So I think that maybe we just do 2 furballs. And then also too, that would give me a chance to test out Ivory as a waymate, which now I need to create. I will be doing that off screen, or maybe not. Hold on. I have to open this. Let's see, what should I open it with? I guess I can open it with Acrobat. Ew. Gross. Okay, so I have the waymate sheet open. This will actually be kind of interesting because I have not done combat with 2 characters before. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, actually, I do have an idea. Because, like I said earlier, I don't have to fight them. And I do have rations. If they're fighting over fruit, maybe I could throw a ration at them. Also, too, Cadlin's first combat was with the furball, and he annihilated that furball, which is why I was like really overconfident in my ability to take on a saber tiger solo at level 1. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Nothing like the furball. A furball is a threat level of 0.5. The saber tiger is a threat level of 2. And like threat level is kind of like average party level. So yeah, he basically bit off way more than he could chew. But killing the furball kind of upset him some. So I'm thinking maybe we'll see if we can avoid combat first. Okay, so I would say that this would call for a check. Oh, and maybe this time I'll use my boon. Because now I have a target. The target would be the furballs. And once per scene, I can ask the Herald, which would be me, because this is solo, one question about a creature's tracks, habits, or weakness, and then gain a boon on your next check against that target. So I guess I could ask myself, like, how well would they understand a gesture like this from a person who just tossed them food? And I would say that perhaps they might have, you know, some inkling of, hey, this person, a people just tossed this thing to them, which implies like freely given or whatever. Nothing bad happened when it landed, so that's good. Yeah, and it smells like food. So, because they do seem to be capable of a little bit of intelligence based on the demo, which kind of mentioned that the furball was wanted for raiding or tipping or basically getting into mischief with some merchant wagons or something like that. And also there's another enemy that is basically a big king furball. So I think they are capable, at least at this size, of like maybe a little bit of intelligence. So I think that would give me a boon, because perhaps they might understand that Cadlin means peace or friendship. Meanwhile, he's just like, oh god, it's not again. Not more furballs. Okay, so let's see. As for the stats to roll, oh, ideally I would love Mind and World, because that would give me the most dice. He is using his head. Because I think, yeah, he's being more tactical about this rather than impassioned or something with soul. So let's see. I want to roll Mind plus World. One boon. Thanks to Hunter Sense. Okay. So now if I roll a 4, I can turn 1 4 into a 5. Oh my god. I am so glad that I used that, because I rolled a failure. But since I have the boon, it turns 1 4 into a 5. Man. Oh, okay. That's I think yeah, that might be the first failure I've actually rolled in this game. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Ooh. But it's a mixed success thanks to that boon. Oh man. I will note that it turned into a mix thanks to boon. Holy cow. He is not lucky with these furballs, I guess. I mean, like, he was lucky with the first one in that he was able to like totally slaughter it in his first attack, his first round, but like it it made him sad afterwards, so oh boy. Okay, all right, let's see. So it's a mixed success. How are we going to do this? Let me sip some water while I think about it. So okay. So it does work. Ah. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. So it does work. However, it only works for one furball who snatches up the ration, and the other furball gets angry and basically looks at Cadlin and like squeaks and stuff, demanding one for itself. By the way, I can show you what these look like. They're literally a ball of fur, and they have a big hammer. And I think actually this one was from the demo, but let me actually get their enemy card, because that will have the fool. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Why did that do that? Okay, thank you. Okay. Bestiary. Oh, I just realized that that was supposed to do a thing, I think. Oh well. Oh, it doesn't matter. Furball. Okay. Let me get the enemy card for it from the rulebook. Enemies. Here we go. Just so that I can better describe them. Let's see. I guess we could pick a color too. Let's see. I know Cheeky's in here. Probably lurking. So here's a shout out to Cheeky. We'll make this a pink and a purple one. Because these ones come in different colors. They're kind of like your beginner slimes. Purple. Yes. There we go. We got a pink and a purple. They're like slightly different. Yeah. Yeah, so like they're slightly different. Like this one has like Mind Hop, Calm Hop, Brain Tap. Whereas this one's attacks are like Night Tap, Dark Hop, Gloom Pop. But yeah, let's see. Do they share the same? They do. Yeah, so furballs are harmless looking puffs who carry hammers far too big for them. Driven by instinct more than malice, they bounce around smashing anything they think have snacks. So anything they think that has snacks, they smash it. So actually, yeah, this track. So yeah, Cadlin would have had the right idea here. The only problem is that he threw one ration, thinking that, you know, there was already a piece of fruit. So one would have fruit and the other one would have the ration. But it didn't work that way. They have forgotten about the fruit, and now the other one also wants a ration. So Cadlin will have to fork over another ration. So I'm going to update, because I actually had rations in his inventory. He only has one now. That cost him so much money. he can barely afford to buy those back. We'll say it was the pink one that got it. Okay. The pink furball eagerly snatches up the ration and starts chowing down, but the purple one started bouncing and chirping angrily, as if demanding to know where its ration was. The fruit lay forgotten behind both furballs. Cadlin sighed and fished out another ration. The purple furball snagged it before it could hit the ground and started devouring it. Cadlin and Ivory began walking past the two as they crunched and munched on his hard-earned rations. And as they managed to skirt past, the furballs finished their snack, remembered the fruit existed, and began to fight over it again. We probably should have just killed them, Ivory commented dryly. I hear you can get something of value off them from time to time, and they can be very pesky when in high numbers. Cadlin shrugged but didn't say anything. It wouldn't make up for the furball he killed a couple of days ago, but avoiding a conflict with the two did make him feel a little better. He didn't bother trying to explain it to Ivory. He barely understood why it made him feel uneasy himself. The missing rations, though, those he regretted. Okay, so he has run out of his rations. Well, he's got one left. But we are going to say we lost another resource. Increment. Oops, I reset it. There we go. So we are down to half resources. I would say that they probably have enough torches to get back home. Like, I would say that they have like 2 torches for the way back to Winford from Tower Yaren. But, the rations, yeah. Tough. But, with that, we have completed this part of the quest, which is to get to Tower Yaren. So the journey has ended. The quest has not. Alright, let me dig up the page for Tower Yaren so we can get a description off of it. Yes, can I help you, sir? I mean, I can't help you. I'm streaming right now. Okay, let's see. Put my book back in order. This is in another section. Ooh, also, I gotta remember to get XP for this. Oh, do waymates get XP? I'll have to check that in a moment. Let's see, to do Tower Yaren, here we go. Alright, now that I found that, let me double check to see if waymates earn XP, because I think they do, but I'm not sure. Because I don't have Ivory's waymate sheet made up yet, which was another reason why I was thinking about avoiding combat. Because I don't think that would be very interesting for you guys to listen to. I don't really have room to put a waymate sheet up here. So I guess I could make it in obsidian and then just flip between the two. Maybe I'll make a waymate template for myself, but in the meantime, waymates, do they earn XP? I gotta wait for this to load. It's also why I printed it out, because the playtest version probably isn't optimized, so it kind of lags a bit. Okay, they have levels, HP, and SP. But do they gain XP? Just kind of talks about them doing an average party level. So Ivory is basically also level 1. Oh, use the class's normal level chart for HP, SP, and defense. Build action table. Perks. Oh, leveling up. When a waymate levels, apply that. But it doesn't say. Alright, I'll have to ask that question later. And then, if it turns out that, yeah, they get XP, then I will add that to the notes. And so I'll have a little bit of a to-do list for next session. Okay, in this moment, we are here reaching Tower Yarn. So I'll read the description from its entry because this is a canon location. So this is from the core rulebook. Playtest. This is all subject to change. So Tower Yarn, the light that studies. The tower rises from the cliffs in a seamless spiral of enchanted stone, glowing faintly with runic light. Windows shift their angles as the structure breathes in subtle pulses of magic. Wisps of colored energy drift from the peak like lantern smoke. When you step closer, the air vibrates as if the tower is measuring your intentions before permitting you near its doors. Oh, I can actually roll a d4 to pick a rival mood. This is actually the first time we are visiting a canon location. Winford is completely homebrewed. Let's see, and I get 300 XP. Holy cow, guys. 300 XP. I think, yeah. Well, no, it's okay. Yeah. 300 sounds pretty good because it is one time. So I wouldn't get it every time I come back here. But now I can go all the way up to 785 XP. How about that? Let's see. Also, I want to link. Oh, okay. I want to link the fur balls. So I can kind of keep track of like where, what sessions that they have appeared in. But okay, so yeah, I need 1,000 XP to level up to level 2 Ranger. So that's exciting. Hurrah! It's been a little bit of a slow crawl, but part of that is also just because of my technical difficulties. But we've gotten some serious progression in tonight, so I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, now we can roll a rival mood to find out what the state is of this place. That's a D4. Oh, I forgot how pointy this is. As a 3. That was a good roll. That was satisfying. Okay. A faint hum resonates in your bones. It is steady, purposeful, and alive. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. Let's see. So we also have a list of NPCs, and then a list of local hooks, some arcane services, rest and downtime, outbound leads, key areas, and then what this place is known for. So Catelyn has obviously never been here. We've established that. But Ivory likely knows. He's a healer, so he uses magic. And I've been kind of getting the vibe that perhaps he's a city dweller. So he likely knows of Tower Yard. But what this place is known for is the home and study of High Arcanist Yaren. So Yaren is a person, it's an NPC who is also on this list. And it is known as a center for arcane research, relic study, and magical experimentation. It is a place where spells, spirits, and scholars collide with unpredictable results. Okay, so I think I'll just go ahead and write kind of like a transition. We got the guys are approaching this tower. It seems like perhaps there is an enchantment on the area around it, like a barrier or something, that is kind of like activating and assessing their intentions. And do I have... Let's see. I think Tower Yarn is more of a landmark. It's not a settlement. People live here, but... Oh, I don't have a landmark template. That's alright. This is a canon location anyway. Alright. Oop. Add yarn. Yarn. Tower Yarn. There we go. Just wanted to have that linkable. And now I can... Oh. Oh. There we go. Alright, so let me set the scene. Oh, I could probably also roll to see if the weather has changed at this point. Because storms and stuff don't typically last for too long. So it's within reason to roll again. And I am feeling that this is probably like summer. So if I get something that's like snow, I'm just gonna roll again. D12. Got a 6. Okay, we are in luck. It is now a fresh breeze. The wind tugs at cloaks and rattles branches. On open water or clear plains, it can speed your travel. If you sail or march with the wind at your back, you may treat one travel scene as if you were moving at a faster pace. Well, we are at the end of our travel, so that does not help. But that's okay. That's fine. I just wanted to know if it was still stormy. Hey, what are you yelling for? Meow? Meow? The beast is back in the hallway, yelling at me. Oh, he travels onward towards the kitchen, where he hears Cheeky clanking and making a noise. He finds it very interesting. Maybe he will get fed. That is his hope. That's funny. I see Cheeky. I don't know if Cheeky's still listening. Hi, Cheeky. He just got fed? That's funny. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes, describing this tower. Okay. I still got earbuds in, and yes, the beast just got fed. Ah. It's probably just wondering, what are we doing? Why am I over here talking, but you're over there? And why aren't you talking to him? I know. How shameful. We are not waiting on His Majesty's every waking moment. His waking moment, by the way. He gets to sleep as much as he wants. Okay. Oh, knowledge. Ooh. Spelling is getting very difficult. I wish there was a bit of like a scale on the map, you know, like a distance scale. Because the map is pretty stylized, and I don't really know how long it would take them to walk through the forest. Like, I kind of determined that it was a 4-section clock, just kind of based on like difficulty of how many events that we would have to go through. And I felt like 4 would be pretty decent, along with 1 being like an encounter. But I don't know, like, time-wise, what does that mean? We didn't waste time. So that's good. Like, we didn't lose time. We made good time. But I don't know how much time that is. So it's kind of up to me. But I feel like I don't think it could be made in a day. Because otherwise why like pay so much, you know? Because even with danger out in the wilderness, if it only took one day to go to the Tower Yard and then back to Winford, it seems pretty low risk. And this composer paid for adventurers to go get it, even though it is a somewhat close location. So I think it would be reasonable to say that it is a 2-day trip, a 2-day journey. Enough for two new adventurers to handle on their own, with enough risk for danger. Yeah. So we'll say they're hoping that they've made it in time for like dinner. I think too that ooh, yikes. My foot. I just dragged my foot and took some of my computer cables with it. That was a little terrifying. Let me check. Everything good down there? Yep, just the amount of dust that nobody needs to see. Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess I could probably provide some context too for what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and read what I've written so far so that you'll better understand. Cadlin's eyes widened as they left the dense shadows of the forest. Oh, shatters the dust. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking maybe do a bit of spring cleaning. I kind of want to tackle the TV area though, because that one's a little more frightening than my computer cables. But anyway, Cadlin's eyes widened as they left the dense shadows of the forest. At some point, without their knowing, the storm front had finished blowing over, leaving a fresh breeze in its wake and peaks of blue skies between white, fluffy clouds. Before him was a majestic tower indeed, dazzling in its heightened splendor. But that wasn't what made his head spin. Surrounding the tower was a sparkling barrier that stung his eyes if he tried to squint at it for too long in an attempt to make out the shimmering runes floating around it. Ivory, too, seemed impressed by the sight, but cleared his throat and walked forward. "Excellent. We made good time," he said, acknowledging the sun's position in the sky. "We might have made it in time for dinner." Okay, so this place does not have mention of like places to stay in, like overnight. But I'm going to assume that it does, because it's like a research place, a place of study. So besides the people that live here, I would think that they receive visitors on a regular basis. People that are like couriers who are picking up goods ordered, that are like commissioned, or traveling scholars, traveling mages, people that use magic and stuff and want to come use the resources here. So I would think that they would have like guest quarters. And then the next question would be, do you need to pay for those? Let me sip my water. I think I want to say that you don't have to pay. Because usually if someone is here, they are paying for something already. And perhaps they do have like paid suites for like the more prestigious or whatever. Like the people who are going to stay there for a long while would probably pay some kind of room and board fee. But I think perhaps if you're just picking up and going, then perhaps the room is free. It's just not going to be fancy. Ivory and Catelyn will probably have to share a room. And then the real question will be, how many beds does it have? Dun dun dun! It's probably more than one bed. But, okay. So there probably is a place to spend the night in. It's probably simple. Would they pay for a meal? Probably. Is there going to be only one bed? I don't know, maybe I should roll for it. See, if we had a luck stat, I would roll for, like, luck. Is there another bed? But I think, I guess instead it would be like a regular oracle roll. That would be kind of funny. But I think because it's getting ready to touch on 9 o'clock, we'll probably have to wait to find out about that. Because we are going to wind up talking to people. People means that they are NPCs. There are a couple provided, but we have the High Arcanist themselves. We've got an apprentice and then a keeper who is like an arcane custodian. Oh, I see. Almost more automaton than man. Really? I wonder what that means. Like, is he mostly machine? So there's 3 NPCs that are provided in the file, but doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the one that we would be picking up from. It could be a different NPC. So we might be kind of in for a little bit of a lengthy little session, especially since yeah, we just got here. It is probably afternoon or late afternoon, like close to dinner time. And there are a couple of points of interest here. So we may do a bit of downtime. A little bit of downtime in activities. I know downtime is supposed to be like 24 hours. So it wouldn't really be 24 hours. Because you would have to do like from morning to morning, basically. But I think it would feel kind of reasonable if we did it, like, just swung our downtime to be, you know, from evening to next day. Because it's definitely longer than a short rest. Which, let's see, how long is short rest? I don't remember. Yeah, so you could take up to 3 short rests in a day, but they are only an hour long. And the rest we would be getting would be kind of like, oh, let's see, about 10, no, about like 12 hours, 12 to 16 hours. So I feel like that's close enough to a 24-hour downtime. I'm the herald of this game. I'm the boss. Also, too, I am my audience member. I mean, you guys are too. But I'm playing primarily for myself, first and foremost. So, if my interests decree that this is a downtime, said with so much authority. The funny thing is that I'm not sure if you're joking or not. It's yeah, just about to hit 9 o'clock, so that's another reason why we'll wrap up, is because my brain capacity is going to start rapidly dwindling after this point. So yeah, we'll just wrap it up. We'll just call it quits here. I tease. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. We'll see what happens. We'll go ahead and note. I fill out the save game thing after the fact because it kind of helps me wind down after the session. But I just want to go ahead and note before I absolutely forget somewhere. The room will be free, but and I haven't yet decided if they'll have to pay for their own meals, but I feel like it's kind of a no. Oh, right, because I was thinking that it's probably kind of like a cafeteria setup, so it probably doesn't really matter if, you know, 2 extra people eat breakfast, because it's all kind of made in big bulk batches anyway. Alright, cool. I made that note. Okay. Awesome. Thank you everybody for coming by. I'm so happy that the stream held up. Ooh, I can go ahead, plug the Backerkit page again. Cause yeah, once again, this is Legends of Akeroth. It is going to start funding soon in 34 days, 11 hours, and 57 minutes. And if you follow, you'll be able to get a free solo demo to help you get started on your own adventure in Erwick. Yes, happy to see no issues. What a relief. Yes, same here. I also even remembered to hit record, so I'll have a full recording. And the VOD will be up on Twitch for a while, but I'll also be uploading it to my YouTube, which is the same handle, Zachary Art. And then let's see. So now we're gonna raid, and I do believe that, yes, there he is. Alright, so Vice Capitan is playing Demon School, which looks like it's some kind of game. So we will head there tonight. Vice is actually the reason why I wound up not streaming tomorrow, but tonight instead. There's a subscriber only stream happening tomorrow. And I am quite interested. But yeah, thank you everybody. Safe travels through the veil. Because I'm hitting the right now button. Bye bye.
But well, let's go for push allies. I'm learning. Yeah, I got an achievement. Study 10 techniques. Hey, Zachary, how you doing? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. And hi, if you don't know who I am. Vice Captain. Usually stream RPGs, TTRPGs, and we're playing some Demon School. How you doing? There you go. I hope you're having a good night. Let's see, let's give this to Destin. There we go.